Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here. It's early for me. It's still really cold in the house, so bear with me if I'm rubbing my hands together or just generally freezing my ass off. But um, I've been asked this question so many times over the last few days since it happened on the first. What my opinion of what the statements were being made by Baba, which is obviously, again, the biggest player in the game. He's got great influence on the game and on the player base because of that, and just because he's just an all-around, decent guy. Wanted to give my perspective. Well, I didn't want to have to, but people keep asking me, and just so we can move past this and I can get back to the content creation piece of this channel, I'm going to go ahead and say my piece for whatever it's worth. To me, it's just we're chatting. This is kind of like a podcast for me. So I've got three of the probably four or five different messages that Baba's put up on Facebook, and there's a multitude of other threads discussing it. It's obviously a pointed topic. Some of the things that he's brought up, and I'm gonna give my opinion on how he's done this, what he's done, and then I'll also go through on that third picture what he's suggested, and if this was particularly a patch note. How would I feel about it? How would I review this patch note? If it was an actual patch note that came through 1.0.45 or whatever it is, right? Also, as an announcement, I wanted to make sure everybody was aware on Discord, and let me see where everywhere it's going to be posted on Discord and the in-game forums. There's going to be a major announcement on changes coming to the Season of Conquest. So I wanted you guys to hear that here first. I just happened to be awake because I'm the opposite of a night owl. I'm an early morning guy. I'm an early bird guy, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm always up early, and that generally tends to be when some of the announcements that the few and far between ones that we get, do come. So I wanted to let you guys know that there are changes coming to Heroic Anthem Season of Conquest, and just Season of Conquest in general. I don't know what they are. That's the extent of my knowledge. I don't know what they are, and I don't know how quickly they're going to happen, and I don't know if they're going to be great, or if they're going to be good, or if they're going to be okay, or if they're just going to be downright terrible. We don't know yet. I just know that changes are coming, and these are changes that were happening evidently before any of the recent events. So let's talk about those recent events. That's what the point of the video is. And again, I also wanted to tell you about breaking news. So Baba, again, I will say my relationship with Baba, it's pretty direct. Most of the players in this game that have a name for themselves, whether they're content creators, whether they're heavy fighters, whether they're just big players in general, just if they've got some kind of notoriety in the game, good, bad, or ugly, they all know each other. We all talk. I don't talk to Baba that often. I think there are other content creators that have a better and longer relationship with Baba than I do. Certainly, Ronnie being one of them, Fleisch being one of them, because they played with him in 245, Kingdom 245. But certainly, being part of JWM now, there's plenty of people that he has relationships with there too, and he's kind of been all over, right? In my personal conversations with Baba, most of them have been to try and help him a little bit with his channel, because he does have a YouTube channel covering some of his exploits in RoK, it's pretty interesting to see from the lens of somebody who spent over evidently $1 million in this game. I'm glad that's not my number that I've spent in this game, although my number's pretty high too, and let's not bring that up. So just to give you some background on my relationship with him, it's a very casual, in-game style relationship. We've talked about family and things like that, but for the most part, all of it's had to do with the game or his production of content for you guys on his YouTube channel on Rise of Kingdoms. And a fellow, he's Turkish, but lives in Germany, and I am a huge fan of Turkish culture, both food and just in general. just the Turkish culture and, you know, where it came from and how it came to be, and Ottoman Empire and all that good jazz. So we have a special connection with the Dearless Ertugrul series that I just finished, which is so exciting. Now I'm looking to try and find where I can see the Osman series. That's the follow-up to that. However, so let's talk about the RoK stuff. On the 1st, Baba put a post up, and if you guys have, you know, and everybody in this community on this channel, right? Which, first off, hats off to all of you. You know, this channel has been about trying to make better changes for the game, especially considering, I don't know, we've got a weekly video now dedicated to it. Not to mention an email that you can email your personal suggestions that I directly pass on to my people that talk to the developers. So, I mean, I don't know if I quite have the same connections that Baba does with his 3rd post there, with the already having VIP support and all that, or past VIP support. But I've got something, and I try and use that for you guys. And I also try and be very honest and fair. I'm going to do that with this as well, guys. Like I said, I know Baba. I like Baba. I'm going to probably do a collaboration at some point with Baba on stuff like this. But I'm honest. I'm brutally honest. And there's some good things in here, and there's some things that I don't agree with. So I'm going to tell you. So first off, again, he posted this. This is the 4th today. So 4 days ago. And general gist of the snippet on the left here on the 1st is saying that the developers don't respect 99% of the players. Well, I think that's kind of where it started off wrong, but there's some good points in here, so I do want to go through it. Tell them it's not the same fun anymore like in the old times. That I agree with. I agree 100% with that last part. The game was a lot more fun at the beginning. I would also say that's part of it being new, but also the KVKs. I like the KVKs more than Heroic Anthem. I dislike Heroic Anthem so much that I've actually started to like Light versus Darkness, which we've made some comments on this channel about Light versus Darkness and how Care Bear it is, kind of. Like, there's really only 2 or 3 days of fighting, and that's it. So to continue on with what he says, they make updates, yes, okay, but not with the things we all wish. Yes and no. I agree. I agree that the majority of the updates, and again, my rant videos that have been ramping up lately are a big sign of that. Some of the things that they've suggested or changed, or there's some critical things to the game, which again, a few videos ago, I addressed top 3 big changes that need to happen to the game. I agree with what he's saying there. I am one of the big spenders in RoK. You are the biggest spender in RoK, my friend. Even for me, it makes no fun anymore like before. Okay. KVK 6, Heroic Anthem is over. We got all rewards, but I am not able to get the new skin. I agree that you shouldn't have a reward available in a KVK that you need multiple KVKs to win. I'm sorry. You just shouldn't. You shouldn't have that. I agree with him on that. If you win KVK, if you like decimate the KVK, you should have enough of whatever it takes to get a reward in the game, for sure. So again, I'm not sure. I think the theme here is that he's highlighting things that need to change. I wish there was more constructive solutions, and that's again what we're doing here on this channel is identifying, but also coming up with constructive solutions to fix the problems, not just really highlight. So that's a difference. So I must wait for 1 KVK to get more skin rewards, which he probably has all the skins anyway. So I'm not sure, but in general, for the player base, I agree. It's all about spending money, yes, but when you spend more and more and more, you want more in game. Also, I agree. I mean, if you spend money, you should get something in return. I use the best computers, the best phones, the best internet connection, and the game's still crashing and lagging. That has nothing to do with any of those items. I'll go on a technology rant in a little bit too. So, come on, what is this? And it makes no fun when the free-to-play players has no chance to get stronger, and I have no enemies left because they quit the game. So, this is where I started to kind of tilt my head a little bit. I think that's more of a kingdom problem. So again, yes, there's problems in the game that need to be addressed. I think we all know that. I think that this channel is one of those channels that helps to try and address those things in a positive, constructive way. But free to play leave not only because of stuff like this. I mean, the majority of the changes that have been happening, with the exception of the barbarian changes with the gems and things like that, and the healing speed up issue, the other changes don't really affect the everyday guy. You're still going to be able to grow. You just need your speed ups, you need your gems, and you need to be able to heal effectively back. You need that back as a normal everyday player that doesn't really spend heavily into the game. You need all three of those things back, and I think that needs to happen, and we've come with some solutions to do that on this channel. But to say that they don't have the ability to get stronger, I don't agree with that, and I think that's more a result of kingdom culture than it is the game itself. I think it's a combination of them, at least, if nothing else. But if a free-to-play is leaving, it's because they either didn't feel engaged enough to play the game anymore. Maybe it's because they were in a KBK and they had been saving up all year to get their first T5, and then some 1 billion power player comes and swarms them down. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could be the reason why they left. So it's all relative, right? I guess I'm just trying to keep an open mind on why people quit. There were times where I've been kind of put my hands up in the air and, what are we gonna do about this, kind of thing. And then there's other times where I'm really excited about the game. I think that's probably with everybody. You have your ebbs and flows. So to continue here, it says, I fully understand everything, and the most bad thing about what Lilith made is to kick out the content creators from sponsoring. That's not true. I'm still a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and again, you guys know that does not impact this is my channel, guys. It's my channel. I own this channel. This is my content. I just partner with Lilith to promote things that they've got in the game and to educate you guys on the game so you can get better. I mean, that's the main reason I started this channel in the first place. I was not sponsored when I started this channel. I started this channel to help the community grow and get information, and this was early in the game when things were still kind of fleshing out. So they approached me and they said, hey, we want to sponsor you because you're doing right by the community and you're doing right by giving the game a good name, a good face. You're promoting us. We want to take care of you as well. Again, that is fully a monetary contract. That has nothing to do with anything in game. I have spent 6 figures in this game, which is way more than I've ever been compensated for by being a Rise of Kingdoms sponsored content creator. So if anything, I am still way net negative on this whole proposition. That being said, there is still a sponsored content creator program. I am a part of that program along with Shiskul and Shinchi. I know Gecko just lost his, which was unfortunate. I miss him being part of that. He still does talk to us. I mean, it's not like he just went away, and he still has his channel, so go check him out there. He's just not sponsored by Lilith anymore, that's all. But that's between them. That's not between me and you guys and all that. And those are the 3 that I know of that are local here, like US based. So there's tons others, of course, but those are the ones I interact with the most. So that's on the sponsored content stuff. They made so much content for us. Thank you, man. They helped us to understand the game better. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. They entertained us. Thank you. I love that. Is this the way to say thank you? Well, it wouldn't be if that's what happened, but it didn't. So that's a hearsay thing that just didn't happen. And that's kind of what you have to understand with a lot of these posts on the Rise of Kingdoms forum. Rise of Kingdoms group forum, I should say. It's not the Rise of Kingdoms forum. It's the internet, people. It's the internet. People can, say whatever they want. Say whatever they want with as much or little education as possible. And you have to understand and sort through the stuff that actually is accurate, backed up with facts and, screenshot or it didn't happen. You know what I mean? And sort through all that versus the stuff where people are just coming through and being toxic, like probably 75% of the posts on Rise of Kingdoms group. You have to sort through all that. And I know Baba has a lot of contacts and a lot of people. You know, he's said it multiple times, not even just now, but in the past about his connections with the development team, which I totally believe. I've gotten that message from quite a few people that I know, and not just Baba, but other heavy spenders in the game. They have a special connection to the game, evidently, that I wish I had. I wish I had that. I have my level, and then there's Baba level, you know. So that's that. They made so much. Okay, so I got that. Ex devs of Lilith who was fired contacted me, and again, this is all insight that I would not have because I don't know the inner workings of Lilith Games hiring and firing protocols and stuff. But he's saying that according to them, developers created accounts, and again, I can't comment to that because I don't know. I don't know if that's even a thing. Maybe I don't know if they did that or not. I'm really disappointed. I'm also thinking about if it makes sense to still play this game in the future. Signed, Baba. Okay, so that was the original one. That post alone had 600 comments in the matter of 20 minutes. I think right now it's up to over 1,000. I posted a response on that as well, basically kind of saying what I just said in a little snippet. Then another update came the second, which is, and I'm not sure why I didn't put these in better order, but he posted with some change requests. I want to go over that last, and I think this is the reason why I put it on the bottom, because I want to go through these with you guys and see if this is really what you want on all of these pieces and give you some perspectives from both sides. So the one that came yesterday, which you can see as yesterday at 3:39 a.m. Update. Hello, my friends. First of all, I want to say thank you for your great support. I have now a special support directly. Okay, so even more special support. Okay, not VIP, but something different. I got answered today in the morning that the developers of Lilith will have a meeting tomorrow or a day after about changes in the game. That's good. Progress is good. And he's going to inform us immediately whenever he gets an update. And to make more pressure, he's announcing that he's not spending a single cent into the game and asking everybody else to not spend a single cent into the game. And the idea is that it's putting it on Lilith to make the change and all that good stuff. In the history of everything, right? I mean, businesses are made to make money. So there is an impact to what Baba is saying. And I think this is another question that I've been asked almost as much as having me make this video in the first place. Are you still going to spend? Because of what Baba said on the Facebook group. Yeah, I'm going to spend my money how I want to spend it. I'm not a huge fan of telling people how to spend their money. I'm a fan of putting information, accurate information out there, and letting people decide how to do their own life. You know, you can suggest it, and that's kind of what he's doing here. He's saying don't do it, but he's saying please, and he's requesting. You know, so I can back him up on this, but I generally just don't like telling people how to spend their money. Just like I'm not making a post and saying, hey Baba, I don't like the resource reserve bundle. Don't buy it ever. Don't buy it ever, because it's not fair. It's just not fair. It's very little resources for a lot of money. Don't buy it. And he can make up his own mind. But if I was to say that, I'd feel a little gritty. I just don't like telling people how to spend their money, especially somebody as successful as Baba, where he just, sprinkles money on everything, that he eats. He's got little diamond salt grinders, it's that kind of thing. The dude has a lot of money, and he's successful, and he deserves to spend his money how he wants. And then there's also people who are grinding, going out and slaying that dragon every day, and going out and pounding the pavement, and going to a factory job or whatever, and they're making ends meet however they can. They're like I said, they're slaying that dragon. They're coming home to their family, and they spend their money how they want. That's how it works. So this post didn't really do anything for me, but tell me that he has a special connection inside of the support team, which I wish I had. Okay, so let's go over to the last one. This is where He's gathering feedback from the community, which is this is the part where I'm really excited about, because he's using this platform that he's got to get some actual changes instead of saying it's just, this is bad, we need to do something. I agree. Now we're starting to get to the nitty gritty. What needs to be changed? What do we need to do to change the game in a positive direction? That's what I'm looking for here. So this last post, it says, "That was fast. Lilith already contacted me." Right under the post what you want to change in the game. Also over 1,000 comments, and I took about 5 minutes just to read some of the comments, and man, oh man, this is why we don't live in a groupthink world. We elect people to make decisions for us, because some of those suggestions they're from the community. I'll say that. Okay, so he's assuming this is the assumption of what everyone wants in the game, and we can add to this, right? This is the base foundation of what we're looking for. So more free resources to farm, 100%. Yes, please and thank you. How do you do that though? I think this is for every single thing, right? Saying I want this, okay, well, that's great. How do you do it? How do you do it without negatively impacting the economy of the game? How do you do it without negatively impacting people who have spent thousands of real life dollars on those resource reserves, on those bumper harvests, on those new world bundles just to get gold, on all of those things? How do you do it fairly, effectively, and productively, right? So to me, the only way to do this is, and I was actually talking to Ronnie yesterday about this, and I'll kind of give him the credit on this suggestion, because it's one that had kind of eluded me. You want to not only increase the resources that are on each node, increase the number of nodes, but also you want to increase the gathering speed. So right now, to sustain a T5 account during a KVK, especially a heroic Anthem KVK, dear God, it's almost impossible without multiple farm accounts being active 24/7, and then you run the risk of accidentally being considered a bot and you get banned. That's the other problem. But systemically in the game, the resources need to be higher on the nodes. They need to be more frequent. They also need to be gathered faster. So to be able to play a T5 account effectively, where you don't need 10 farms farming for you 24/7, you're sitting here every day logging in the 10 farms, sending out every hour and a half to 2 hours, you can gather more resources more quickly. That's the only way to fix that. Okay, so, and this again, that was a Ronnie idea, so I'm totally stealing a page from that. But I think that's the only way to make resources work in this game without having to buy resources, right? And if you do buy resources, it's to top off or something like that. You need to be able to farm more resources more quickly. That's number one, and how I would fix it. Number two, reducing healing costs for troops, 100%. Just a flat reduction sounds great to me. More speed ups and gems from barbarians and marauders. I would say just put it back to what it was. It was pretty good. You could, on average, after a KVK, farming up 150 to 200,000 honor, you could pretty safely bank on having, between the rewards and everything and the barbarians, the barbarians, 150, 200,000 gems. If you do it right and you're sitting there doing it religiously, you can have, and for free to play, that is gold. That is gold. You can get your commanders. You can get things from the courier shop. You can get those 7,000 gem events taken care of without having to, buy something to do it. You can play the game effectively the way you want it. Just put it back to the way it was. It wasn't broken then. And that's, again, a suggestion we had. Instead of taking away to make room for the equipment, just add the equipment. Put the other stuff back the way it was. Fixed, done. Next one, reduce material costs for crafting equipment. That would be nice. I think the equipment system probably just needs a revamp in general, especially considering you lose half of your legendary materials when you dismantle a legendary, but not for any of the other ones. Don't understand that logic. I don't know if this is necessarily front burner. I think that there are more critical things that need to be changed in the game besides material costs for crafting equipment. They did change the need for all 4 resources of materials to be needed to get to craft equipment, which was nice. And they did. I think they already did reduce the material cost quite a bit. That's why you see pretty much everybody running around in epic equipment, which is good enough. I mean, if you proc some epic equipment, you're only a shade away from having legendary pieces. Now, obviously, the legendary sets are a little bit different. They add a lot more with the extra bonuses and things like that. But again, that should be for the people who are kind of spending into the game, right? At least right now. Maybe in 2 years when this game is still around, because it will be, regular players will be able to have enough stuff to get those maxed out legendary sets. But of course, by that point, there's going to be tons more out, and they'll be not really worth it anymore. But you get the point. I mean, these games are made this way. That's why they're made the way they are. Of course, it would be nice to have reduced material costs, but I don't think it's mission critical to turn the game back on for Baba. You know what I mean? So I think that one's a strike. More crit chance for talent when you craft legendary equipment. I don't necessarily see that as a problem. Me personally. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm jaded. But the crit chance happens enough. And there's dozens of videos out there, including on this channel, showing you how to best have your chance to proc your equipment. I think something that, and I can't remember who did it, so I apologize for not giving credit. I was chatting with somebody, and they brought up a very good idea, which is to have a purchasable with gems, guaranteed crit chance item. So you buy it for 5,000 gems or 10,000 gems or whatever it is, right? And you turn it on, you use it, and then the next equipment piece that you make, guaranteed proc. I think that's pretty cool. It might need to be a little more expensive than that. They would have to do the, ROI on how that works. But I think that was a great idea. You can do a purchasable guaranteed crit chance for equipment. That would address that issue without really adjusting the crit chance in general. Because I think the crit chance in general is okay. There's sometimes I proc 3, 4, 5 in a row, and there's sometimes that it takes 6 or 7 pieces to proc. So it's random. It's just how it works. Change tech tree system in KVK HA. So Heroic Anthem KVK tech tree, just get rid of it. Just something needs to change. That's for sure. He's right. Change tech tree system. It needs to be revamped, the whole thing. And again, there is coming a change for the Season of Conquest stuff. So maybe that's part of it. We'll see. The temporary piece of it definitely needs to change. You should not be losing stuff that you've spent thousands of dollars on. Again, very much addressed on this channel. Bring new civilizations. Sweet Jesus, yes. The first day I started my channel was the last time that they came out with new civilizations. That was my first video. New civilizations. New commanders. That was the title of my new video, something like that. But that's when Arabia, Byzantium, and Ottoman came out. That's when those 3 came out. That's the first video I ever made for Rise of Kingdoms on my channel. And it wasn't for Rise of Kingdoms, it was just the first video I've ever made. So it's been a while. It's been a while. It's literally been almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. 10 days, it'll be 2 years. Holy crap. That's how long I've been doing this? Bring more epic and legendary commanders for free, like in the tavern or in the VIP shop. That would be awesome. I would enjoy that. Again, I don't know if that's a deal breaker for me, but that would be awesome. If I saw that in a patch note, I'd be like, I'll take it. Better matchup in KBK pairings. Well, the first one's done by continent. The second one is done by 64 kingdom power ranking. And then light versus darkness on. Yeah, it's kind of just like Wild Wild West, isn't it? I mean, it'd be nice. The problem is migration, right? So better matchup in KVK pairings. Migration's the problem whenever we're talking about better matchups. Because there's no way to effectively, without changing which I don't see on here, changing the age of the commanders. So, Not allowing Zenobia at 300 days would be a good start. Same thing with Theodora and YSS and all the Archer commanders and all that. Herald. So I think that needs to happen before better matchup in KVK pairings, because anything you do in the KVK pairing matchmaking system will be moot until you fix the commanders. That's what makes the matchup in KVK pairings, a big part of it anyway, so unfair. Especially as we go on into the KVKs and get towards the Seasons of Conquest. I think that's the bigger problem than the matchup system. Delete all developer accounts if those exist. Yeah, go ahead and delete them. That'd be great. Who are in the game, hide in all the kingdoms. Make your experience on test server. That brings up a very good point, and something I've asked for from the people that I do know and I do get contact with. This is something I've asked for forever. Give the content creators access to a test server so that I don't have to spend thousands of dollars of my own money just to show the content. Because, again, originally, most of you guys know when this game came out, the content creators, they got stuff in the game to help show you guys the commanders. This is such a heavy war game, and it's so impactful to so many people. They took it away because it was impacting stuff in the game. So to do away with that and to fix the problems that created, make a test server for us so I can go on, and whenever people keep asking me, hey, I want to see Nebuchadnezzar and Cyrus against Guan Herald, I want to see how that works. Sounds really fun, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But I would love to do that. But I've only got Guan and Herald maxed. I don't have Cyrus. I don't have Nebuchadnezzar maxed. I just started spinning the Cyrus wheel. It's going to cost me a fortune to do that stuff. Give me a test server. Give us a test server, right, where we can show you all. I will do a series every day on this pairing against this pairing with this set of troops. Everything. I would do tons of videos on that for you guys just to show you what this stuff looks like. So that's that. I would love that. The dev account thing, again, I don't know if that's accurate or not. If it is, yeah, get rid of them. That'd be great. But the test server thing, I want that. I want that so bad for you guys. I want that so bad. That's so bad. Okay, we don't want lag anymore. No crash anymore. Okay, well, you need to invent a different kind of internet, Baba. The way internet works, there's a certain finite amount of bandwidth. Think of it like a highway, okay? If you have a 4-lane highway, and that normal 4-lane highway can support 1,000 cars on any given section at a time going over that highway. That's your general gameplay. That's why it's not laggy during general gameplay. That bandwidth is finite. Like, you can't just create more bandwidth. There's speeds that you can do. You can increase speeds, right? Which does help with throughput, but eventually there is a finite amount of raw bandwidth that goes through pipe, okay? During KVK in this game, or during ARC sometimes where the animations are going ham and all that, that bandwidth, that 4-lane highway, starts getting 20,000 cars jammed into it per section. Because we don't have quantum physics really nailed down yet, we can't quantum compute and instantly teleport data from one point to another. Once we have that down, Lilith Games will be the first one to say, you know what? We don't want them to have lag anymore. We don't want y'all to crash anymore. We've got quantum computers now, people. We've got the quantum internet. Here you go. No lag-free Rise of Kingdoms experience. I challenge you to find a game that has solved it, because if they have, they're harboring proprietary quantum physics technology that the rest of the world could severely benefit from. We could teleport out of the solar system if we had the capability to do what that little suggestion says. We just don't want lag anymore. I don't either. I don't want it either. But until that's invented, we're going to have to kind of deal a little bit with it. Now, there is a little bit to be said about your equipment. So again, I use, and again, the link is down below if you want to get it. I do get a little bit of from an affiliate link. I use this amazing Samsung S7 Plus tablet, and I also use, do I still have it up here? No, it's downstairs. An iPad Pro tablet as well. Those are the two best devices that I've played on in this game where I can still play at decent settings during a 916 or a 307 KVK or during a really, really, really high-end ARC match. So I play on these things here, and I don't crash really that much, if ever. But I do lag sometimes just because, again, what I just talked about. Small pipe, big information. You get the idea. There's so many memes in there, I can't even tell you all of them. But that's why there's lag in the game. That's why. Now the crashes, that could be from coding. Certainly they should go over any kind of coding with a fine-tooth comb. Crashes could also be your device, not Lilith. So again, that is a request that is, again, a strike. You just can't say that. You just can't say that and say this is the only time I'm going to turn my account back on or my spending back on because I need lag-free experience. All of us do, my friend. All of us do. Reduce the cost of bundles, please. Now, do I get a refund? Because again, I've spent 6 figures in this game. Does he get a refund if he spent? I mean, he spent over $1 million, $1.5 million from all the numbers I've seen. I don't know if it's $1.5 million, but he spent a lot of money. I mean, the dude buys. So, reduce the cost of bundles. Do we get refunds back? Because I mean, we've already bought them. We've already bought those bundles. I bought hundreds of those bundles across 6 accounts. Do we get the difference between what the bundle used to cost and what you're asking the bundle to be? I would want that back, right? I mean, if everybody else is starting to get a discounted rate on these bundles, well, I've already spent on my bundles. I want that money back. This is just not going to happen. They should give more for the bundles they have. Again, I think that there's a little bit of a unfairness to that, but it's better than reducing the cost. I just don't see this happening. Just because, again, the game's been out for over 2 years now. Well over 2 years, 2.5 years. And it hasn't changed. And to change it now would be a huge slap in the face to everybody who's spent before now. When you reduce, we will buy more. Easy calculation. I think what they've done with the daily bundle is probably more likely to be the case, where you can choose what you get. And I think that was a great change. I wish the bundles were cheaper. I do. I wish they were half as cheap, a quarter as cheap. If they were, I would be 1 billion power like Baba, and then he would be 4 billion power. But that's probably not going to happen. I'm just, honest. I mean, again, if I saw this in a patch note, I'd be like, okay, that's nice, but what about my money? Can I get 20 grand back? Can I get 30 grand back? That'd be great. Please write all your suggestions under my post. Lilith will change now something. There is no other chance. Change or we change the game. It's easy. So again, I like Baba. Baba's trying to do what he can for the community. I think, and I think there's part of some of this stuff is towards him too, because in the first post, like he said, if there's no free to play players, or if the player base shrinks, then he doesn't have anything to kill, and he doesn't have anybody to play with on his side to fight with. So it can't just be him, right? I don't think there's any threat of that happening. And just like there's people leaving the game, there's people coming into the game. It's like the world, right? Like we've got over 7 billion people here. People die every day. People get born every day. It's the same idea. It's an ebb and flow. I don't know how much of an impact all this is going to have. I think when you're in the thick of it in the Facebook group, you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, man, this could be a big deal." But I think on the general radar of mobile gaming in general and just this game in general. It's a blip. That being said, I do want a lot of these things to happen. I just went through those particular items. I've got... Where's my book at? I don't know where I'm... Oh, here we go. I'll rail off a few other things I'd love to. Let's do that. I've got them all written down. Because, again, we're doing a series on this. And this is a little bit of a teaser. So, some quality of life changes. Show all 5 marches on the right bar instead of only 3 or 4, so that you don't have to scroll up or down to see all 5 of your marches. Please come out with equipment presets. Please allow me to bring all 5 of my army preset out at one time instead of having to drag each individual army out one at a time. Can we please get a claim all on the alliance gifts, please and thank you? Knock knock, who's there? Barb Fort Finder, please. That's what I'd like to see. Just like we have a reduced graphics button, maybe add a remove skill animation button to help with the lag issue that Bava addressed. If I'm an R4 or an R5 in an alliance, don't you think I should have the ability to boot somebody out of the rally? Oh my goodness. That's so loud. I'm so sorry. Somebody did something. I apologize. That was an alert box. Let me hide that. I'm so sorry. If you're an R4 or an R5 in an alliance, don't you think I should have the ability to remove somebody from the alliance, or not from the alliance, from the rally or garrison forcefully, instead of having to remove them completely from the alliance? As a king, I would love to be able to communicate better with my kingdom. What better way than by giving me a king marker or 3? So when I'm trying to direct 10 alliances in KVK, I can put a marker up and say, hey, all 10 alliances or 2 alliances or whatever, go here. You guys go over here. Disperse. Kill stuff. I should have that capability. I should have that capability as a king. Because I am a king and I have, I have the ability to send a mass mail. Why not send battlefield direction? That sounds great. Let's see some other good ones. Ooh, here's a good one. Make the equipment that you have equipped in Canyon be different than the equipment you have equipped in the normal game, so that whenever I switch equipment for KVK, it doesn't completely flub up my Canyon lineup. Please, for the love of God, stop immediately making my armies come back whenever I kill somebody when I'm fighting. These are just some of the changes that I would love to see. And those are the quality of life changes. Those aren't even the major changes, okay? And there's more quality of life changes too. And I've got 5 other pages. So, for the sake of time, and this is now almost a 45-minute rant. This is really a podcast at this point. Maybe I should make a podcast. Would y'all like me to do a podcast? On me ranting and just chatting about the game? So to summarize what just happened here. I don't know, did I? Yeah, I probably did. Okay. To summarize what just happened here. Baba's trying to do the best he can to help as many people out as possible. In his post, he's also made it very clear that he wants this for his own personal playing as well, because if everybody leaves, he can't play the game. He clearly loves to play the game, otherwise he would just leave. He wouldn't say anything, right? I respect Baba. I think he's got a lot going for the community. I think he's got a lot going for the people he plays with. Overall, I think a lot of these changes are good. I think some of them are okay, and I think a couple of them are just non-starters because they're not based on fact or reality. They're just based on I want. So there's a mix. It's a mixed bag, right? That being said, again, continue to watch the Friday series where we go into depth on the problems that the game has, and also how to fix them so that, again, and I guarantee you the developers have that series on their radar, by the way. um, we'll be making changes to the game that way through constructive conversation and a positive way to bring about it. I'm not going to tell you not to spend. I'm not going to tell you how to play the game your way. What I'm going to do is highlight if there is a problem, and if it is, what to do to fix it. So that's my general rule of thumb for life, right? If you see a problem, either if you can fix it on your own, or be constructive. Say, hey, this is how I would fix it. What do you think? So hopefully that summarizes in 45 minutes what I think about the recent events over the last 4 days. I don't think I was too critical. I also don't think I was too praising. I think I was right in the middle because, again, this whole thing is right in the middle, right? Like, there's a lot of things going on here, right? So with that being said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this rant slash, I don't know, what do you want to call it? But I always love just chatting about stuff like this. So I will see you guys in another video. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care, everybody.